ABC. It is old metal rocker 66 here with a kind of a continuation of a top 25 and 25. These are honorable mentions. I got CDs and some albums that could have easily made the list. Or if they came out any other year, they probably would have been on that list. But these are well deserving of getting on the list. But figured I'd show you what I have that could have been there, and maybe you have these. I don't know. First up, the Annihilator out of Texas, some Texas thrash. Death is Calling. This is actually, I believe, their first full length. They've had EPs out. I've been around quite a while. A lot of killer thrash out of Texas, a lot of killer metal in Texas. But yeah, this one could have easily been in there. Just like this one, the second album from A to Z 2. I do like the first one just a little bit better. Of course, this has Ray Alder and Marcus Zonder primarily are the collaborators, musicians in here. There are others, but it's a great progressive metal rock album. If you like the first one, you'd probably like this one, but I prefer the first one just a little bit more. And I think this is the 9th or 10th release from this band out of Australia. More melodic power metal band, Black Majesty and Oceans of Black. Always loved these guys. I have most of their stuff. There are only a couple of Black Majesties on vinyl, unless there's more now, but I have 2, I believe. And the rest are on vinyl, but yeah, if you like melodic power metal out of Australia, if you like Vanishing Point, you'd like this, you'd like I Fear, you'd like this. So check it out, Black Majesty. This could have, I had just left this out of the top 25. I so wanted to get it in there, but it was right on the edge. Destructions and Birth of Malice. I really love Randy Black's drumming on this. So good. I've always loved his his drumming when he was in Annihilator, Primal Fear. But yeah, good album. Check it out. Second album from, but I believe these guys are out of Tennessee. These guys are out of Tennessee. This is the second album from Evil Army and Possessor. And I really like how the eyes really show up on here, even when it's like sitting somewhere. If the light hits it right, it looks like they're glowing. But killer thrash metal. Second album, more traditional, old school 80s sounding thrash. And some blackened thrash. And I've seen this on a few lists already. I think as high as number 8, I think. But this is the second album from Grave Ripper. From Welcome to Tundra. I believe this band is out of, I think, Indiana. But if you like black and thrash metal, you'll definitely love this. I've been really, really getting into a lot of black and thrash, a lot of death thrash, stuff that I probably wouldn't even think of listening to 5-10 years ago, but I do now because I enjoy it. But I don't go full on death metal though. But killer stuff. Second release from Grave Ripper, Black and Thrash. I had to go around with this with this album here. It's one of my all-time favorite bands out of Germany. The first couple of videos that came out, I don't know, they just didn't grab me the way I'm used to this band grabbing me. But the third one, and then I'm trying to think of the song. Oh, I am the Primal Fear. Probably the best track off of this album, Primal Fear and Domination. It was close, but not quite. It just didn't hit me like a ton of bricks like they usually do. But this is on RPM. What is this? Their 16th album, maybe? 15th album? I believe. Might even be more. But anyway, Domination. Primal Fear. This one didn't hit me as well either, but it grew on me. I love this band. And the fifth album from Savage Master. And Dark and Dangerous. Warrior's Call is great. The Screams from the Cellar, Devil's Child, side one. It did. This album really grew on me, but not enough to make the top 25. So check them out. They're out of Kentucky. Another Texas band. Also black and thrash. I believe this is their... This is kind of EP, bordering on LP, but this is the latest album from Sadistic Force and Morbid Odyssey. Again, great black and thrash, fast and furious, very... There's just something about black metal with thrash that is different than just straight black metal or straight thrash metal. But when you combine the two together, for me, they just mix right. Understandable, fast, furious, and this is indeed that. Great stuff. I think they have a couple other EPs out too. I do have most of it. And the last one on the vinyl, a band out of New York City. This is their second full length. I'm not really high on the cover. It's really hard to read unless it hits the light just right. I don't think the copper onto this darker line driven looks like seat covering material. And then it's got the copper. Other than that, great album, female fronted, traditional heavy metal. There was, like I say, earlier in the year, there were like a number of bands. This band, Christian Mistress, Savage Master, Sanhedrin, Lady Beast, all put out Mistreater, Mean Mistreater, all put out albums right around the same time, and it was really, it was tough listening to them all. But this one could have made it as well. Second album, check them out. Now with the CDs. And again, I have 10. And a lot of these came in later. So I really wasn't able to really give it more than 2 or 3 weeks listens. So therefore they kind of went out of the top 25, but they're still great albums. So anyway, let's get on with it here. And all these are going to be thrash or speed metal or black and thrash, and we're going to start off with, I believe these guys are out of the US, Ecstasy. Some speed metal, Withering Tides. I think this might be the second album from these guys. But check them out. Killer speed metal. Out of Puerto Rico, I believe, or Costa Rica. One of them two countries. Anyway, they're in the Caribbean. This is, let's see, I believe this is a 2025 release. The Act of Retaliation from Chemicide. I think this is like their 5th album. It's on PRC, Puerto Rican. They're from Puerto Rico. That's where they're from, I believe. But anyway, killer straightforward thrash, 80s grooving song here, you know, but good stuff. Some black and thrash from, these guys are out of New York, I think. I might be wrong, but Grave Witch, black and thrash, their self-titled album, first album to come out. Really killer, fast, furious black and thrash, like the way I like it. And just some good stuff here. Come out this year, a couple months back. A lot of these came later, probably last week in fact, except for a couple. These all came from like Stormspell. They had a Black Friday sale with new items coming up, and a lot of these are new items from this year. So a lot of these could have made the list easily. I've spun these a couple of times already, and they're all excellent. I'm going to start off with a band out of Pittsburgh, Epic Power Metal from Iron Brigade and Ill-Fated Voyage. Good stuff. Battle roar, maybe musically, vocally, and all, but similar along the same lines. But check it out on Stormspell label, Iron Brigade. I wanted this for quite a while. I wasn't able to get it. It was only available overseas. Killer Polish thrash. In fact, Poland has really been coming on the scene really in the last 4 or 5 years, especially with thrash. And this album here, I wanted early, but I wasn't going to pay $30 shipping for a CD. So I went over to Stormspell before the sale and checked out everything they were going to have, and this was going to be on the list. I'm talking about Lucille and Dawn of Destruction. This maybe has vocally a Creator vibe, but with the 80s thrash sound, if that makes sense to you. But killer stuff. If I did a predominantly all thrash list, which I might do, this would make it. A band out of, let's see, these guys are out of the, they are out of Brazil. I think this is their debut or their second album. Thrash band, Order to Kill, and Endless War. Again, 80s driven, Brazilian thrash, just killer stuff. 3-piece. I was curious about this. I bought it. I read a little description, heard a little bit over at Stormspell. I picked it up. I'm glad I did. I did not know until I did more. I researched this after I got most of this, but the band was called On Fire. They're kind of an international band. They're from like Canada and I think the UK. But they play kind of speed metal, heavy metal. The singer is female. She was in, if you remember, the Canadian thrash band Mortillery. Well, she is now the singer in On Fire and Bite the Bullet or Bite the Blade. I'm trying to think of her name. Her name is Cara on vocals. I think there's a couple of I believe there's 2 members of Mortillery in this. I believe might be Jeff. I'm not positive. But anyway, good stuff. Check it out on Witch's Brew, which is a German label, fairly newer label, and they have been putting out some really great stuff. I have a lot of it now. Let's see. Yeah, this Order to Kill, this is all Witch's Brew stuff, but fantastic stuff that label has been putting out. And then out of Columbia, I think this is their 9th album. From the speed metal, heavy metal, thrash metal, depends on the year probably with these guys, Revenge and Night Danger. Like I say, I believe this is their 9th album on Dying Victims Records. Came out last week actually. Looking for the vinyl, but can't find it yet. And I think overseas it's pricey, but anyway, check it out from Columbia, Revenge. And then from Ohio, I have most of this band stuff. Vic, Stone, and Vindicator, and Whispers of Death. And great album. Always puts out killer stuff. Hopefully we'll see a vinyl version of this. But check them out. God, what is this? This is on Speed Metal Records. Metal, spelled M-E-double-D-L-E. Metal. So, you know, it sounds like metal. But anyway, what is this? 7th release maybe? I don't know. I've lost track, but killer stuff. And the last one, which I'm hoping for a vinyl copy of this. They have a new one coming out in 2026 already. These guys are out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, and I'm talking about Rectify and Hybridized is their latest album. It has a former member of Annihilator in there, and I'm trying to think. I thought Greg Wagner, let's see, Matt Hanchuk, Mark Miller. I can't think. I know Hanchuk was in Annihilator, but anyway, killer thrash from Thunder Bay, Ontario. So anyway, guys, that is stuff that could have been in the list. That's just as good, but I can only do so many top lists. So anyway, I wanted to show you what I had for the rest. I have more, but I'm not going to show any more. I'm thinking about doing a top 20 thrash albums of 2025 too, since I'm not really working much right now, collecting Social Security, so I got all the time in the world to do videos. So if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit the like button. And yeah, take it easy, keep it heavy, keep it metal. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.